Hello, thank you for tuning in. Great episode today. Today is part 2 of our interview with Roger Ritterbeck from Bureau Veritas. It's been fascinating getting his perspective, the auditor's perspective on all these changes that we've talked about in the standard so far, and to see what an auditor through their eyes and how they're interpreting this new standard. Today's segment covers a handful of topics, but maybe of most interest is we begin a conversation on the actual upgrade audit and what that's going to look like. It's pretty interesting and some surprises kind of tucked in there as well. So speaking of surprises, we are very excited to announce we have a course that we're just about ready to launch. It's a new course and it covers internal auditing for the RevD standard. So for all of you folks who are gearing up to do your internal audits to the new standard, we think that this course is going to be a huge help for you. We're looking at probably about 2 or 3 weeks until launch date. So as we get closer, we'll definitely keep you posted on that, but we're excited about it. So we're looking forward to that. And so enjoy the interview, and I will see you on the other side.
Learn all about AS9100 RevD with our new online course. This is the best resource to rapidly get you caught up on what's changed and what's new. Our course guides you through each part of the standard and teaches you how to implement it within your own organization. Each section is broken into bite-sized pieces, allowing you to work through the standard at your own pace. You can access the course as many times as you want, making this the #1 resource for when you need a quick refresh on a specific topic. Buy it today and get the guidance you need to achieve your RevD certification.
Roger, also related to the expansion in objectives in 6.2.1 says 6.2.1, the organization shall establish quality objectives at relevant functions, levels, and processes needed for the quality management system. The quality objectives shall A, be consistent with the quality policy, B, be measurable, C, take into account applicable requirements, D, be relevant to conformity of products and services and to enhancement of customer satisfaction, E, be monitored, F, be communicated, B, be updated as appropriate. Then it says the organization shall maintain documented information on the quality objectives. So one of the things I've really been curious about is how do you see auditors auditing that requirement?
Yeah, good question. This requirement is really a carryover requirement from the existing standard and slightly enhanced. One of the common pitfalls with the existing requirement was that quality objectives weren't flowed down to relevant functions and levels within the organization. So an example of that would be at the high level, if an organization's objectives are on-time delivery and quality, there needs to be a delivery and quality component within the quality objectives down at the process levels. That's been a common gap with certified clients. So the enhancements to the RevD version really are continuing to try to drive those objectives down to the relevant functions and levels. So what an auditor is going to look for is documented information on what those process objectives are and how they tie back up to the organizational objectives.
Okay. So if one of the organizational objectives is to do A, we should see in the the component processes KPIs relating to that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, one of the founding principles, of course, in the upgrade standard is risk-based thinking. And can you speak to us what might be examples and what you might expect to see about risk-based thinking?
Sure. Well, risk-based thinking really has taken the place of the preventive action clause in the current standard. Because in reality, most organizations didn't understand preventive action, and prior to the audit, they were coming up with whatever suggestions to call preventive action. So now, in lieu of coming up with suggestions, risk-based thinking is to drive the organization to constantly be aware and assess of potential risk and opportunities throughout the organization, whether at the process level, office functions, administrative, throughout the whole organization.
Okay. So, so what might be evidence then of that I've done risk-based thinking in my?
Sure. Any items that would come out of a risk-based thinking, whether they're risk or opportunities, those would be documented then, and with associated mitigation actions to address those risks. If you've identified something as a risk, you don't want to leave it hang out there unaddressed.
Yeah, excellent. So would like an FMEA be the kind of approach that might work for something like that?
Oh, for sure. That'd be one great tool to use.
Yeah. I can relate to what you're saying. We've all audited organizations that when you ask them, do you have preventive action, they're scrambling around looking for something that they could fill that requirement for, but it wasn't an intuitive part of their management systems, where now it looks like they're kind of driving towards that, trying to make sure people are actually looking to how to improve their systems.
Exactly. To provide more value.
So, well, that'll be interesting. See, well, one of the questions everyone has, and I kind of have the same question too, is like, we're anticipating what's going to be required for an upgrade audit. So, I don't know whether it's going to be the same amount of audit time as a research audit, or it's going to be like a complete audit of the system, or maybe just take our word for it and give us a certificate, or that probably not going to happen.
Yeah, that probably won't happen, but no, that's a great question. The requirements for transitioning to the RevD version are outlined in the IAQG Supplemental Rule 003. That's a IAQG requirement document that can be found on the homepage of the OASIS database. So one section of the supplemental rule addresses audit duration for transition. Okay. It also addresses that certification bodies have to assess for each organization the appropriate audit duration for transition. And transition can occur at either a surveillance or recertification audit. And the additional time is really based on the readiness evaluation that will be conducted for each and every client. So if a client is already, has counterfeit parts programs in place, addresses human factors, product safety, they've got a lot of the aspects of the new standard already covered, okay. So they'd be considered less risk. If an organization doesn't have those aspects in their current QMS, they may be considered a little higher risk, so the duration will be dependent upon risk.
That's fascinating. Well, a scenario, let's say, so they're going to do a stage 1 type audit for...
No stage 1's required. It's a simple questionnaire, okay. And based on the answers on the questionnaire would categorize that organization into low, medium, or high risk. So there's no additional on-site prior to the actual transition audit. Okay. And most of the transition audit time is anywhere from 5% to 15% above the normal audit activity.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so very, very minimal.
The auditor's going to be very busy.
The auditor will be very busy, yes.
How in the world is he going to be able to do that?
They're highly trained.
I'm going through the audit training right now. I can tell you it's quite extensive.
All right, well, that'll do it for today's episode. Next time we get back together, we might pick up right where that one left off. I'm not sure, though. There's another subject that we want to get to that's pretty interesting. It talks about there's some things that are tucked away in this standard that you don't notice right up front, and they're a little bit hidden, but very important nonetheless. So we want to talk about that, fill you in on that. So we'll kind of see. But in the meantime, if there's that or anything else that you want us to discuss on the show and break down, please let us know. We love hearing from you, and thank you already for the feedback that you guys have given us. It's been super helpful and great to hear that we've been of some help to you guys as well. So thank you for that. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do that several ways. You can contact us through our website. You can send us an email. You can leave a comment in the comment section down below. Whatever way works best for you, we see all of it. And again, we really do appreciate your feedback and appreciate you guys interacting with us. That's why we're doing this. So thanks again. And until then, have a great week.